We've got a Denzel Ward injury update for you folks, the one everyone's been waiting to hear. Why did he leave that Ravens game, and is he okay? Well, Daniel Oyefusi tells us that Denzel Ward said he was just feeling dehydrated in Baltimore, which led to him missing so much time with the cramps. Ward said he was even getting IVs to try to get back in the game, but it seems like Ward is okay. He's back at practice. That's good news for Cleveland. Welcome into the Browns Report, everybody. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue, and make sure you join the family here. Join the party because we've got a Week 3 sub battle going on here in the walls of Chat Sports. The Packers Report channel has gained 25 subs so far to start the week. The Browns Report is up 34 subs, so we have a narrow lead on them. Guys, smash that subscribe button if you're watching right now and you're not subbed. We have to beat the Packers here at Chat Sports. Show Chat Sports bosses that Browns fans are better than Packers fans so that we can hopefully beat them on the field as well in Week 3. And we have a special guest joining us on the show today, our Packers insider here at Chat Sports. Let's get into this interview. Welcome in, everybody. We are excited to be joined by another Joey here at Chat Sports. His name is Joey Peterson. He's our Packers expert, Packers insider, host of the Packers Report. And with the Cleveland Browns taking on Green Bay in Week 3, I thought we'd bring him on. First, Joey, just how you feeling, man?
Dude, I'm feeling 2-0. Excited to be here. Excited to get to 3-0 this upcoming Sunday. But I will say this. First road test for Packers this year, so we'll see how they handle it.
There we go. It must be a good feeling, Joey. Well, first thing I do want to ask you, and I think some of the Browns fans would be intrigued to know as a first question, what is the Packers' weakness, if you had to point to one? Maybe something Cleveland could actually exploit.
Yeah, that's funny. I would have said to you 2 weeks ago that the weakness was in their secondary. Obviously, they lose Jair Alexander in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, they had a guy who switched from wide receiver to cornerback, make their 53-man roster in Bo Melton. And so, in my opinion, that told me like everything I needed to know with this Ravens cornerback room. But then you look at what they were able to do against Washington, they could not do anything. 5 pass breakups from Quinshon Judkins, 6 on the game total. I think their outside wide receivers had 16 yards when the Packers cornerbacks were in press man coverage. And so I don't think that's a weakness anymore. If anything's a weakness, I think you still got to look at that wide receiver room. Obviously, Jaden Reed just had to get surgery on both his foot and his clavicle. Matthew Golden really hasn't gotten involved in the ways that I'd want him to so far during this season. I still think he's going to be a star. But, you know, this wide receiver room had a lot of drop problems last year. Those haven't reared their ugly heads yet in 2025. But if I had to pick a weakness, I would say with Jaden Reed out, with Christian Watson out, it's probably this wide receiver core.
Well, that could be good for the Cleveland Browns because their corner depth has not been looking good. It kind of started to get exposed once Denzel Ward got hurt in their last game. Let's talk about your quarterback, though, Jordan Love. You know, for someone who maybe doesn't watch the Packers as often as you do, maybe doesn't sit down, watch Packers film as diehard as you are, Joey, what is your analysis of Jordan Love? Just how would you describe his game?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's playing like a top 5 quarterback in the game right now. Truly. When you look at what he's able to do when he has a clean pocket, and I get it, a lot of quarterbacks are going to be good from clean pockets, but he's the best quarterback in the NFL accuracy-wise when he has a clean pocket. Just the plays that he's making down the field, you know, I think one thing that I really like about him a lot is he spreads the wealth a ton. Tucker Kraft has gotten a lot of love this year. Romeo Doubs, the same. Obviously, Dontavian Wicks has looked great as well. And what I loved about Jordan Love so far is he's not afraid to let it rip. He's not afraid to throw it deep. And he's connected with a lot of those this year. And the funny thing is this Packers offense, just like many are in the National Football League, it's better when it's balanced. And Josh Jacobs has done fine so far in 2025, but it's not like he's out there in the first, second quarters of these games just ripping off big runs. They're kind of a little bit slowly or slower than they did last year getting him involved in the games and kind of starting things off with Jordan Love's arm. And so far, he hasn't really disappointed. Now, I would like to see them get it in the end zone a little bit more. Sure. Their yards compared to points, there's a little bit of a discrepancy there, but still, I've really loved everything I've seen from Jordan Love so far this season.
Interesting. Now, you mentioned him being one of the best with a clean pocket. Something that Cleveland actually has done well this year is get pressure.
Yeah.
They have one of the best defensive lines that I've seen in the National Football League. How does Jordan Love handle pressure in the time that you've spent watching him? What has that done to his numbers sort of when he is getting pressured constantly?
Yeah, I think he handles it well. I think an underrated part of Jordan Love's game is his legs. I think that's something that gets overshadowed and not a lot of people talk about. You saw him on an awesome, I believe it was a third down scramble where he lowered his shoulder and trucked over the rookie Trey Amos in the Commanders Thursday Night Football game. He's got that ability, so that definitely helps with dealing with pressure. But I wouldn't say he excels above it. He's not like a Lamar Jackson where he's one of the best in the league when faced against pressure, but he's not like a Jared Goff or Daniel Jones either, where it seems like every single time they're facing any type of pressure, it's going to turn into a sack. One thing to monitor, though, and I think this falls a little bit in Cleveland's favor, is the offensive lineman situation health-wise for Green Bay. Zach Tom, their starting right tackle, didn't play against the Commanders last Thursday Night Football. Same with Aaron Banks, their starting left guard. Now, both those guys are back practicing this week, but their status is still up in the air for Sunday's game. And so if both those guys are out and you got Anthony Belton, who is a rookie, second-round pick out of NC State, if he's starting, he did some good things, did some bad as well, but this Cleveland defensive line could definitely take advantage of that.
Wow, okay, that could be interesting. So also a fun thing here for you, Joey, before we wrap up, a hypothetical.
Okay.
If you could take one player on the Cleveland Browns, add them to the Green Bay Packers, who would it be?
It's Myles Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
If I can't do Myles Garrett, I think Myles Garrett is one of the best players in football, not just defensively. I really, really like Jerry Jeudy. Just his route running ability is unbelievable. And so I think that's a guy I would add to that Packers team. But if I'm choosing just one and I can take Myles Garrett, I'm taking Myles Garrett.
Absolutely. Although Jeudy, I think, would help you out as well. If I had to answer the question for myself, based on what you just told me, I'll take Jordan Love over in Cleveland. We really do need some quarterback help still. Joey, thank you so much for joining us. He's Joey Peterson. I'm Joey O'Donohue, and we hope you learned something here on the Browns Report. Drop a like on the video if you guys enjoyed that Joey and Joey interview. What do you think? I mean, we might start doing it more here at Chat Sports. We have a lot of great hosts that know ball. Shout out to Joey Peterson. He's a great guy, and he knows his stuff. He works hard on the Packers channel as well as I do here on the Browns channel for you guys. But let me know what you thought of it genuinely, because I could start doing that, bringing in some more experts of other teams here when Cleveland's playing their team. Let me know what you think of the interview, and drop a like to show your support. But now let's get into my keys for the Cleveland Browns to beat the Green Bay Packers on Sunday. A little old school battle here of NFL teams. Can Cleveland get it done? The number one key for the Browns this week is time of possession. Specifically, the offense needs to have longer drives, stay out on the field, not put our defense in bad spots. Because the Browns defense, when you look at the ranks right now in all the NFL, you'd be shocked just how good they are. Their defense ranks first in total defense of all 32 teams in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns are the best in terms of defensive yards allowed. Not only that, they are first place in rushing defense in the NFL. Under 46 yards rushing allowed per game. And finally, they're top 3 in pass defense. 146 passing yards per game. That is third fewest in the NFL. I mean, that Browns defense is legit. It's not just something I'm saying. It's something I'm watching. It's something we're seeing unfold here in real time. And the numbers, the stats, the ranks are backing it up. It wasn't the Browns defense that gave up the 41. It was the Browns errors. It was the turnovers. It was the blocked punt. That's what set the Ravens up to put 41 on Cleveland. It was Flacco gifting Lamar good field position. It was the blocked punt gifting the Ravens good field position. And once Denzel Ward got hurt, Cameron Mitchell might be the worst corner I've ever watched play football. I mean, that was dreadful. He was burned, gave up like 3 touchdowns. Clearly, we need Ward out there. But when he is out there, Cleveland's a top defense in the league. And you saw it in the ranks just there. So, defensively, they're going to be strong and can contend with Jordan Love in that Packers offense. It's just the offense needs to help them out. Have some longer drives, put up points. Even if it's some field goal drives, that's not ideal. But, don't give the Packers good field position like you gave to the Ravens. That leads perfectly into my next point, which is win the turnover battle. Every single coach in the NFL, if you've ever heard them speak, will tell you winning the turnover battle is important, and that is how you win football games. Before I explain why this is so important, I got to tell you about an awesome deal here that Chat Sports is giving you if you want a Cleveland Browns hoodie for a good price. I thought it was so good that I literally went and bought it myself. When the bosses told me about it, I was like, wait, really? All right, sure. It's over 50% off right now if you go to chatsports.com/Browns hoodie. That's an easy link for you to get to. It was originally $70. Now it's $28 at chatsports.com/Browns hoodie. Like I said, I literally went and got it myself because it is more than 50% off. You can get it for just $28 now when it was $70. I'll put that link in the description and in the comments so you can find it easily. It's chatsports.com/Browns hoodie. Take advantage of this awesome deal, and we can rep the same gear here at the Browns Report. Getting back into my keys for Cleveland. Win that turnover battle. It's essential, and it has killed Cleveland for weeks now, not even just this season, but back into last season. The Browns have lost the turnover battle in 9 straight games. That dates back to week 12 of the 2024 season, and Cleveland hasn't forced a turnover since week 16 of last season. Like, can we get one, please? Win that turnover battle. It's one of the most important parts of football. It's hard to win games if you lose the turnover battle, and it's something that Cleveland has done a lot. They've turned it over a lot. 2 years ago, the Browns led the NFL in turnovers with 37. Last year, you see that little Deshaun Watson icon, the Cleveland Browns were tied most for turnovers in the NFL. They had 34. And now, through 2 games, the Browns already have 4 turnovers. That's one of the most in the league already. It is literally the reason the Browns lose games. There is no way they should have lost that Bengals game. The Bengals kept punting it back to the Browns, and the Browns would either turn it over or punt it right back. And against the Ravens, we were contending in the first half, keeping it close, and all of a sudden, Flacco's giving it up. He's fumbling the ball on 4th down for a scoop and score the other way. It's been the story in Cleveland for years. It's why they're losing games. I'm not a fan of it. My final key to victory for your Cleveland Browns is Stefanski's got to step it up in terms of play calling. Get creative. Mix it up. It's boring. It's predictable. There were plays circulating on social media where it looked like the Ravens knew exactly what the Browns were going to do before they hiked the ball. Switch it up, Stefanski. You've got plenty of weapons to work with. Not only weapons, but young weapons. Look at the Browns' offensive rookies this year. Quinshon Judkins, who was a beast in his debut, 6 yards per carry. Isaiah Bond, who's one of the fastest players in this league, another young, promising rookie. Harold Fannin Jr. has been a beast. Flacco's been targeting him a lot. He actually is 3rd right now in the NFL in terms of receptions for tight ends. Dylan Sampson also impressed me in his debut, and he caught a touchdown last week. And then finally you have both Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders in that quarterback room. I mean, it's a play caller's dream. Look at how much you can do. Swing it out to Bond a little more. Let's run some wide receiver bubble screens and let him run. Put Judkins and Sampson in there. There's a lot that can be done. Njoku and Fannin, at least I'm seeing a lot of 2 tight end sets. That I like, but it's a play caller's dream, Stefanski. Do something with it. It's getting predictable. It seems like defenses know what the Browns are going to do, and they just keep getting kicked off the field. Let's get creative. Let's do something else. Heck, maybe even bring in Gabriel or Shedeur for a play or 2. Because Flacco can't run. So maybe bring in Shedeur and do an RPO. Let him move. Same with Gabriel. They're both mobile. Flacco can't get out of the pocket. So please, 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 Kevin, start mixing it up. Get a little creative because there are so many weapons for the Browns to utilize. I think that is the biggest key for Cleveland's offense actually having success against Green Bay and going forward this season. But what do you guys think in the comments? What is the number one thing that you want to see the Browns do? What is your key to victory for Cleveland to beat the Packers this Sunday? Comment it down below in the comment section. I'm curious to see what everyone thinks the number one key is for your Cleveland Browns. If you made it to this point in the video, you're a diehard Browns fan just like me. Make sure you subscribe here to the Browns Report. You can follow me on Twitter as well at JoeyO70. And as always, we appreciate you so much for tuning in, and let's go beat Green Bay.